Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Patlabor the movie. We just finished off the Patlabor OVA series. This is where I would usually talk about what we watched last week, but because we're moving from one section of the franchise to another, I don't think that's going to really happen too much. Let's just say that in general, I thought that the whole 7 episode Patlabor OVA was fucking awesome and extremely enjoyable. With the real robot stuff, the incredible satirical tongue-in-cheek humor, the great direction, the great everything on the production side just coming together to make this story really interesting and fun. These fun and goofy characters fighting mostly against bureaucracy and, terrorist threats and stuff. And it's just really endearing and impressive and artistically, valuable and full of interesting things. And it's important. It feels important, It feels real. And I love it. But, as I said, there's not much point in talking about the OVA series because we're moving on to a movie, and I don't know what the movie's going to consist of. It might be, multiple stories intertwined, but I don't think so. So, we're looking at a feature length hour and 40-minute film. Those of you that don't know, I don't do movie reactions that often. I've done a few, usually when they're tied to other series, stuff like End of Evangelion, stuff like Liz and the Bluebird, things like that. Movies that are tied in, K-On! Movies. And there are a few movies that are still sitting on my docket that I know people want me to watch. A couple of KyoAni movies that people want me to watch, a couple of other things. Movies are hard. They're hard. And they're hard for multiple reasons. One is, it's a fuckload of footage. It's a lot of time, right? But that has, a lot of effects. One is, it's draining, it's tiring, and there's a lot to talk about. The other is that, however impressive the things are in the first 10 minutes, 30 minutes, hour of the film, they're probably going to be overshadowed by the ending stuff. And hell, each 10 minutes of the movie is probably going to be enough information and enough stuff going on, and given the movie budget stuff, enough interesting things that it pushes all the information from the earlier parts right out the side of my brain. And I've experienced this multiple times. I experienced it with Liz and the Bluebird, although to a lesser extent, I think, because I really took my time with that discussion. I definitely experienced it with End of Evangelion, but what I've found is that with an hour and a half plus of footage, I lose track of things. A lot of things, more things than usual. Now, that being said, I lose track of things in normal episode length reactions, right? 20 minutes, 23 minutes. Whether I watch one episode or two or more, I end up losing things. I end up missing things. And part of that is just that, something will happen on screen and I'll make a mental note of it, but then something else will immediately happen on screen, so I won't get out whatever thought I had on it, and then it'll be immediately replaced by me trying to strike a balance between commenting on what's occurring and trying to get my thoughts out and leaving things for the discussion. But then what happens a lot is that when I leave things for the discussion, I'll write down a scribbled, mediocre note, trusting that future me will understand what I meant in shorthand, and that doesn't always happen. And more importantly, I don't always remember the exact context of what I was thinking when I wrote that note down. So, the reason that I'm mentioning all of this is because we're going to treat this movie reaction slightly differently than other movie reactions that I've done. And here's how. There are going to be two major things. One is that I've got my phone and I've got a stopwatch set up, right? So when I actually start the timer version, I'm gonna hit start, and instead of writing down a timestamp, I'm going to just lap when I hit a screen or hit a scene that I want to go back to and don't want to talk about in the moment, right? So I'll just be like, I want to talk about this, lap, boom. That'll fall apart eventually as we're watching, but for a little bit, it'll probably be helpful, and it'll be a little bit more easier for me to manage than just trying to scribble down timestamps. Good. That's one thing. The other thing is I'm not going to be terribly shy about stopping during the reaction. I don't normally stop during reactions. I've done it a few times in recent months, recent times. I think the only series that I've really stopped during was Symphogear, and that was only really in XV because there were some insane cuts that I just had to look at again. And it's quite possible, given that this is Oshii with a movie budget and all of the things that go along with that, given that it's production IG and stuff, it's quite likely that there are going to be cuts like that I just want to stop and look at and gawk at, right? It's also quite likely that there are going to be lines and things and thoughts that I have that I think of something and it sparks a thread, and I'll want to stop and go off on a tangent about it. I think, and this is experimental, I don't know that this is necessarily going to turn into the best reaction material possible, but I have to try new things in order to find out if they work. So we're going to try this and see how it goes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be less shy about stopping during the reaction, whether that's to take a break and use the bathroom or get some water or something for me, just to get, keep myself going. And I'll try and stop myself like midway, but when we kind of hit an act break where it feels like we're transitioning. Just to keep rolling, keep my momentum up. But then I'll also stop for scenes that I want to talk about and tangents that I want to talk about and like theorizing or whatever. And what you'll get in the final copy, and this is the important part, so look in the description and I'll pin a comment. I'll break the discussion after the timer portion up into sections. So I'll re-edit the timer portion so that it's solid, right? It's just reaction all the way through, so that if you want to sync up your own copy with the movie, you can totally do that as usual, and just watch it straight through with me as commentary and do whatever you want that way. But the picture-in-picture version, I'm not sure whether I'll just smush it together. I'll probably smush it together for the picture-in-picture version, and then I'll edit the portions where I paused into one cohesive portion of the discussion. Does that make sense? So that there's a section of the discussion that's like, hey, I finished reacting, whatever. Now watch as we talk about all the points where I stopped. And it'll be like, oh, here's me at 5 minutes in talking about this thing. Here's me at 10 minutes in talking about this thing. And I'll timestamp that through. And that way that footage is there and accessible, but it's not in the flow of the reaction. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. I'm going to experiment with it. If you hate it, let me know. We'll play with it. And doing this doesn't mean that I can't just like re-edit it in a more normal way either. So those are the main things that I wanted to get out of the way housekeeping-wise. So there will be pauses if you see jump cuts or like skips during the reaction. I will have synced up the frame exactly so that the video that's playing of the actual film or the timer of it is accurate. But those will be sections where I stopped to talk about stuff. So I don't know if you see those jumps and you're like, oh, I wonder what T thought about that thing that he spent too much time on to actually talk about during the reaction. You can maybe jump to the discussion portion and find out. Cool? Okay, cool. So I'm going to have the stopwatch, timers, and the actually pausing, and that's going to make it kind of hell for me in editing, but that's okay. It's, I think, worth it. Okie dokie. Beyond that, Patlabor OVA. Not OVA, it's a movie. So this film came out in 1989, July 15th, 1989, I believe. And the final episode, the final OVA of the Patlabor OVAs, as we know, came out in June of 1989. So literally a month between them, which means that there was massive overlap in production schedule, guaranteed. And we knew that already because we knew that Oshii and a bunch of the other staff were replaced in their roles for episode 7. Amazingly, that didn't make episode 7 like implode as one would maybe expect when a really, really seriously talented director and other seriously talented staff members are replaced. No, they still pulled it off, and it was awesome. It was a wonderful, heartwarming, action-packed, really cool episode. So during the time that was being produced, although Oshii did have some involvement in it, he was mostly focused on working on this movie. Now, Oshii with a movie budget is kind of a thing, because Gits is kind of a thing, right? Like, if there's one breakout anime film in existence, I think it's Ghost in the Shell. I can't think of any other that's quite on that kind of level. When it comes to, I mean, in recent years, sure, there are, holy fuck, what's his name? Guy makes realistic backgrounds, did his entire own film by himself to get started. Brain imploding. Makoto Shinkai. Okay, so there are more recent anime films that have had a wider reach, but that's because anime has a wider reach now, right? Like anime's intrusion, if you will, into the collective conscious of the West is much higher, and people are much more willing to watch an anime film and take it seriously than they were in 89, 90 when this came out. This was a groundbreaker. Ghost in the Shell was a groundbreaker. Sorry, 95. Ghost in the Shell was a groundbreaker. Huge, immense. The quality of animation and backgrounds and detail, the cyberpunk's neo-futurist thing that was going on in it, all of it hit notes. It hit beats. It hit everything. Ah, and that's my main experience with Mamoru Oshii on a movie budget. This is him 5-6 years earlier. We've seen what he was doing 5-6 years earlier in the OVAs. It's pretty awesome. What's he going to do with more moolah, more time, more animators, more stuff? One can only imagine. And hope. And hope. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Now, I know that people rate the second film higher than the first film, and by getting into this, we're setting ourselves up for like 3 back-to-back weeks of Patlabor films. It's gonna be rough, but it should be fun, and the reactions to the films will probably improve as we go along, which should be cool to see as we figure things out and experiment with stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling and tangenting already. We need to get into it. Let's talk about which copy I chose to grab. So we watched the whole OVA series with the Bankai 77 rip because Bankai does these really good archival filtered copies of older films and OVAs. I was experienced with their rip from Evangelion and End of Evangelion and thought it was really good. And I thought that the filtration on it to remove like blockiness and grain and noise and stuff and clear up some of the colors, bring up some of the saturation a little was super nice. So we're sticking with Bankai. And the Bankai rip that we have now for Patlabor the movie, BD, dual audio, X265, blah, 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 blah. If you just search Patlabor on Nya and sort by most seeds, the first movie reaction, or the movie torrent is Bankai's. Grab that one. That's the one that I'm using. If you want to use a different one, feel free. Now, for subs, we're of course using the Japanese audio track. Bankai does include the Bandai visual dub and the manga entertainment dub. Don't care. Subs. It includes the English retail, the Nizik, and the OZC. OZC is what we used for the entire OVA, and what I did, at the risk of spoiling myself, I jumped to a random spot in like the first 20 minutes of the episode. It was the female captain person talking to I'll point out the scene when we get to it so that you know which scene I saw. I didn't see anything that mattered. It was something about a speedboat, but I just looked at like 3 lines from both of the subs. The translation of them identical, but the typesetting and the size of the font and how much was on one screen was different. OZC does like slightly larger chunks, more coherent sentences on one screen and then jumps to the next, and also syncs those jumps up with when characters are like stopping talking or when scenes swap. So it feels like it flows better and there's less broken statements on screen for like half of a scene. Does that make sense? So there's less misinterpretation, and I find that much better because I speed read. So when I glance at subs, I see the whole thing and read the whole thing immediately. Like it's a trained thing. When you look at a book, like a pulp novel sized book, you can, if you train yourself, you can read with your whole peripheral vision just like straight down the page. Same deal with subs. So when there's like a chunk of text, that's helpful for me because I can grok it quickly and then think about it more and grok it in fullness. Wow, I haven't thought about, holy shit, I haven't thought about that phrase for a long time. What's that from? That's from a Heinlein novel, right? Grok in fullness. Yeah, Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein. Read that book. It's a good book. And an extremely useful term. Grok means to understand completely. Like truly get. It's used by programmers a lot when they'll be like, do you grok C++? And somebody will be like, fuck no. Because that's the only valid answer. No. Maybe I should have said something different like JS. All right, I'm done. Okay, let's watch Patlabor. I've got it up. I'm using the OZC subs with the Bankai 77 filtered rip thing. Let's fucking do it. An hour and 40 minutes awaits. Okay, I gotta get my stopwatch ready. Stopwatch is ready. Everything's ready. There will be two versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description. I have no idea what hosting sites I'm going to put it on, but I'll try to figure it out. And then there will be a timer-based version up on YouTube. The timer-based version will have discussion, as usual, at the end, and a beep beep timer at the beginning, which will help you if you want to sync up your own copy of this episode with the timer-based version, or the movie with the timer-based version. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Timer-based version will be all, like, compressed down, because any portions where I stop and tangent off for a bit will be cut out of it. I'll try and reincorporate those into the discussion somewhere, and I'll try and leave you markers in the description and a pinned comment that help you understand where the hell everything is in the video. Let's do this. Patlabor, movie 1, beep beep timer. I have to hit the button and hit the spacebar at the same time. We done did it. I have the right subs on, right? Yes, good. Okay. So it's like a few pixels off from 1080p. Weird. I'll crop it so that it's like ideal. That background though. Holy shit. It looks like mountains of cloud. Hello. Okay. Okay, now that we're definitely in post-edited territory, I did not expect to stop within the first. Holy shit, he's jumping! I was not expecting to pause within the first 30 seconds and be amazed by literally the first cut. What? Did you see that? Yo. Yo. Dude, I'm just gonna be a kid in a candy store, aren't I? Oh my goodness. That's threatening. So, real world gritty military operations with labors. Setting the stage. What are labors and how do they function? We have to recap some of that stuff. Whoa. Explosions lighting up the darkness. Oh. That is very intimidating. Oh. The shadows of the clouds. Stop it, Patlabor. Whoa. Whoa. That parallax. So, let me just... I think the lap process may have backfired. Because every frame deserves to be talked about. Dude, this music. Oh my god, every cell is so cool. Holding completely still. Oh. Wow. It's not stopping. Wow. Wow. Well, that's 2 pauses now. Nobody in the cockpit. Automatic? We're gonna switch our viewpoint toward our group. All right, so that was our setting the scene. The heist begins, or whatever. This is the first evidence. Ooh, I like it. Unfortunately, there's no OP. So, is this... Okay, it's an artificial island. Is it part of the Babylon project? Whoa, that reflection on the water. Wow, that's a lot of land. You mean until, you know, it got too close to God and he did a thing? Red tape. Ah, so this is how we're doing our exposition. Got it. I'm actually going to turn up the volume a couple percent because it's a little low. That's a lot of bots. It's a lot of concentrated power. And as dangerous. Well, the rotating claw. Hehehehe. Are they just dropping into the water? Right. It's doing the whole intro, but via this guy. And he's just like looking at us. Oh, hi. Oh, he's gotten his character design changed a little bit. Whoa, layers and layers. Is that where the guy jumped from? The Ark. Oh, that was my question. Oh, that is the place. Okay, we see the place, the thing. Is that... It's not Kanaka, is it? Is it Shinobu? The side guy who just got a call, saw that he was still on the phone, wrote down the note to hold it to him. That's so cool. Something's come up. Is that Kanaka or Shinobu? Suge! No Alphonse, eh? He's more expressive in a different way. Also, the shading style, the shadows on the faces are more detailed. It actually reminds me of Gits. And all their features seem a little bit softer. It's interesting. Oh, this is the line that I saw. That. Okay, so I should have known that it was Shinobu. Yeah, up till here, and that's all I saw. What is it? Is it a new labor? It looked like one of the 98s. Well, I mean, if our main character thinks the thing looks kind of evil, I'm not going to trust it. It runs on hose? Oh. Is it automated? It also gives them control, doesn't it? That's scary. What if they turn? Okay, I'm expecting a widespread mass labor turn. A hack or something. And we just saw something like that, right? We just saw an autopiloted red labor, Shinohara, I believe. Same as the one that was in episode 7. So maybe it ties in a little bit. This would be a very scary place to have a fight. Makes me wonder if we're going to have a fight here. That is a very detailed environment. Wow. Dude, the shadows. Experimental labor unit? That sounds good to me. Okay. Give it the once over. Uh-huh. But you did find something. Ah! That's not how planes work. That plane just rotating in space? No. Jesus. Oh, hey! This is familiar. Is that shaved ice? Orders are orders are orders. All right, so red tape, bureaucracy, still big things. Okay. Anything notable? Was it recently installed with the hose? Prized airborne labor units. Crap, yeah, they destroyed it so thoroughly. It definitely raises some flags. What a great shot. Wait, what was that voice? Oh, Takako Gomen. Oh, he's thinking about his wife. You seeded those when— Yep, you seeded those when you became a cop. Yikes. Yikes. Things are heating up, maybe. Oh, speaking of. What's a 205? Break and enter? I don't remember. I don't remember my codes. Oh my god. Hey, how many things can we How many things can we animate at once? I don't know. All of them? Yeah, Tyrant. That's what you want to name your non-combat construction tool. It's just Windows. It doesn't matter, really. It was just a text output, but fuck. Whoa. Oh my god, the reveal again. We're doing it again. But we're doing it better. Wow. I mean, the artifacting on some of the edges is kind of crap, but oh my god. It didn't hurt too much. Hey, buddy. Again, someone not in control. Wow, it does tie in. Kind of. Don't shoot him. Or is he gonna suplex that thing? It's super heavy, though. Okay, there we go. Wait, is that Goto piloting a helicopter? No. Okay, good. Ha, no. Give it a zap. Nicely done. Never mind. Oh my god, that... Well, he finally hit it. It froze. What? Is that a thing that we have now? We have cryo guns? Gonna kill him. did something like that. Dude, the whistle in the background. Ah, it's crazy. Oh my god, we're 20 minutes in. No, dude. Random. But he was telling the truth. We saw it. And all of this is related to Hoss, right? Ugh, they need blame, right? Corruption, eh? What about hacking? Easy blame on the little guy. Yeah. Shit. Welcome back to red tape and bureaucracy and bullshit. Hi, Noah. Oh, is he gonna start doing some investigation, putting some things together? Huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, he just baited him into investigating, didn't he? Huh. Waiting for a cut. Ooh, that held. Oh, hello again. Whoa. That's really pretty. What a canal. Oh, and this is the music from the intro, so that something's ethereally and weird. Birds again. Water. Tension. Go into a slum. Wow, framing. Doorways, light, illumination. Wow, framing again. Claustrophobic. Dusty. Is this where whoever jumped lived? Looking for clues. Birdcage that used to hold a raven. Symbolically killing himself to free himself. Special bagel. Oh yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Mmm. Take your own advice. Look at that reflection. Little details, baby. Oh my. God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm leaning on curses so much. Damn it and fuck you and all of that stuff because I don't know what to say. The amount of stuff going on in almost every scene, the detail applied to certain things, it's just incredible. Sweet. The way that the audio is spatial. And connections. Shinohara and Hoss. That's why we showed the operating system coming online. Right. So is it intentional or is there a backdoor in Haas? Right. But is it intentional? What if the guy who killed himself did so out of guilt? Sure. I've worked on enough code to know that's not necessarily true, but okay. Which there almost certainly is. Then we would be throwing non-deserving shade, and we would be destroying a company for no reason. What if Haas isn't the problem, but something else? Yeah. And what if the convenient answer that Haas is the reason is intentional to frame Shinohara? Maybe. And it's not the Babylon Project because labors are crucial for it, and the eco-terrorists don't want that. So you go to the universal OS and you create a virus. Okay, so they found out about him. So he's the dude. He removed his own records and then himself. Okay. He's a really good hacker. He's dead. $150 feet, right? Or was it 150 meters above the ocean? I believe it was 150 meters. So 450 feet. Jeez. Yeah, that'll kill you. Huh. I'd put my money on plot. Find out if he has any connections to eco-terrorists. All right, baiting you into it. He's so good at managing his people. Panic. Yeah. Right. But the chance that they could go berserk during a mission on each other, maybe? Not good. All right, bud. I mean, having our best mechanic on the job is a good idea, too. Let's go. Oh, hi, Tomato. Left by Noah. Yes, this is Tomato. So, what do you think? Well, it's his family's business, right? Yeah. Little bit of a conflict of interest. Never do. Prefer the softer touch. All right, so we are now in Shinohara, taking a look at the assembly process. Okay, cool. Hmm. And now we're the biggest the biggest producer of labors. Hmm. One after another. Hmm. Yeah, the people at the top can no longer manage all the details. It happens, though. And it happens as a mechanic, too, of course. But it's hard to keep up. Ah, that too. Which means that if oversight can't understand, things can slip through. Dude, that facial animation. To an extent. I'm here as... Whoa. That's not an answer. That's not an answer either. None of these are answers. They're all bullet points. Yeah. Then why did you hesitate? Hmm. Compare it. Compare it. Compare it. Do a get diff. We need the password from him. What was the name of his bird? That's Babylon. Um, Tower of Babel. Oh shit, you just got hacked, dude. Oh, 360. Wow. The whole facility, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. No air gaps? Jesus. Seriously. Wow. Hmm. Totally. Yeah. Okay, back to this track. More birds. More Hoda. Yeah, more Matsui. Another bird cage. Did you know the Birdman? Wow. Gosh, that's pretty. Wow. Dude. Dude. Wow. Dude, these segments are so cool. The tower? But is it a specific tower that can always be seen? So why did he live in scummy places like this? Yeah. Maybe he felt closer to them. Maybe he was an ascetic. Fair. Fair. Records get lost, yeah. Yeah, why would he leave anything? He wants a trail. A trail to a false lead? Demolishing? Yeah, with labors, of course. Irony. Huh! Like kicking over a sandcastle. He wanted his message out. Well, how about the environment that you've been walking through? How about that as a thing that maybe the camera is showing us that maybe they're not seeing? As soon as we get a color swap on screen, I'm gonna take a minute to talk. Hey. Mm-hmm. Get on the boss's nerves. Bit of an angel situation, eh? He leaves the can. So just a coincidence? They're not the highest concentration? The tower? Gotta talk to Matsui. Mm. Nah, bud, you gotta rest up. Order. Make it in order. Glorious graphical quality. Yes, the 21st century will be amazing. Truly. A lot of, I assume, soba. And tomatoes. Fire in my belly? He just realized something. Oh, did you leave that tomato out there? By the door? Were you eavesdropping? Wait, what? Perfect. Smart. No. Maybe don't choke out the driver. GG. Oh, fuck. Again, reflections. What? Dude, it's not stopping. She's really scared of losing her Alphonse. Oh, Noah. Oh, it's okay. Don't cry. Eat your pizza. Not with a knife and fork. What the fuck? Are you a monster? Yeah, so she knows. I don't know, dude. Good luck. Oh, paperwork again. Red tape again. Top brass again. I'm gonna be real. I don't like Noah's face design as much in this as the OVA. Something about the shadows just feel a little bit off. Oh? Hmm. That's it! There's a signal! There's a signal being broadcast from somewhere. Yeah. That's what's triggering the labors. Yeah. Winds. Sounds. A high frequency sound. What's he looking for? Specs? Ha. He already knows. Just tell me. Ah. Ah. Oh. Low frequency. Brilliant. But it's kind of semi-randomized, and he would figure it out because of his obsession with birds and wind. Right, there would be nothing. How would you put that together that that was the trigger? Super clever. Right, desperation. And it worked, of course. But it's compromised. Right. You've become the delivery mechanism for the plague. What if you just alter the acoustics of the environments slightly? Yeah. Yeah, you can't cover this up. We gotta fix it. That's the big deal. Drawings from childhood. His? I don't know. Feeling good. Why do I feel like something's gone wrong? What? Yeah, please, actually. Who's his uncle? Eh. Yeah. Yeah. Just straight suspension. Does he want him suspended? Yeah, it's my family's business. Okay. Okay. Not gonna go that smoothly. Huh. Amazing. Amazing. Sure. Right. That's exactly what I was saying. It's the panic, the fear. Yeah, but there's still half a movie left, so Noah would have had to confess, or Goto would. Ah, he wants you suspended. Uh. Ah. Yeah, why do you think I got you suspended? Yeah. Our man? Hey! Oh my god, he's so tan. Uh, uh, says you. Yeah. That dragon is super goofy. Won't help. Reflections again. What the fuck? What? Why? She gay. She gay. Fuck yeah. Only download stable releases. That's a good man right there. It would push them to work on it more. What a. He is such a jerk sometimes, but it works. Oh. Gosh face. Alright, Matsui investigating. Have we let Matsui know about the wind thing? We have, right? Okay, here's our next section. Wow. Doorways again. Lots of bird cages. Whoa, way too many bird cages. Something under the floorboard? Oh, no. Just dust. Reflections. Tambourine? Class 1-3. Whoa. So you're telling me that the redevelopment problem, while other things continued, was something that affected him in childhood and affected his family? He's realizing. Ah. Whoa. The cycle of progress. That was what I thought. Whoa. Just holding that scene. What'd you think of Oba? That's a little bit of sustainability, though, right? Oh, hell yeah. More like superheroes. Huh. Huh. Ehoba. Right. Right. Also took root because you're not supposed to take the actual name in vain. So use a secondary. Raven. Built. But okay. Nope. Yeah, it's too perfect. No point making a statement if nobody understands the reason. He just wanted people to understand, right? Yeah. He was. We saw it. The smile of confidence. At humanity as a whole, perhaps. The classic trope of the detective becoming more like the person that they're seeking. Oh, hi, buddy. Uh, uh, uh. What is he doing? Ah. Right. What a fun shot. The foreshortening? That's cool. And God, stop showing off. Hmm. Tea. Whistling. Whistling teapot. Resonance. Oh shit! It's gonna resonate with the glass in the skyscrapers and expand. Expand the radius. Yeah. No. If you find the right frequency, it'll resonate with all of the glass. Yeah, and glass is everywhere. Yeah. Right, it's gonna expand. I only picked up on that because of Shatterbird. Okay. You mean like an ocean and a 4-story multi-level structure in the middle of a bay? The Ark, dude. The Ark, dude. The Ark is a gigantic wind. It's a gigantic flute. Yep. See what it comes up with. Whoo. Yeah. Bring the wind speed up to higher than we normally have. Which happens yearly, right? Given weather fluctuations. Oh, hitting the data banks, hitting the centers. Grrr. Is bad. It's really bad. It's super bad. It just, yeah, it expands. Well, 40 meters per second, which we get every year. Oh, typhoon set to strike. Hmm. That's awfully convenient. Oh my gosh, they're gonna use the appeal to authority to try and undercut it? Come on, man. Yes. You lose nothing by acting on it. You lose everything by letting it happen. Wow. unimaginable. Oh, shit. Yeah, if you take action, it's hero. Yeah, and bureaucracy and red tape. Which means we only have the SV2s. Or something to the arc. That seems pretty fucking reasonable, actually. Oh, right. One of them restarted itself. He wasn't informed? Because it's the Typhoon's fault? I don't get it. What does that mean? Wait. What just got subtexted? Yeah. Ah, so he's giving him a no-risk situation. Good line. Oh, here we go. We're in the last third, right? Yeah, 30 minutes left. Minus probably 5 or 10 for credits. End game, let's go. So what's the play? What's the plan? What are we doing? Oh boy. He doesn't care. Jesus. We're gonna tear it up. Oh, okay, so we gotta get past security bots. Hey, that looks like a Tachiyomi. Wait a second. There are more than a few Ghost in the Shell parallels here, for sure. Well, that was cool. Something so drastic? That experimental labor. Not a zero? It's Kanuka. It's Kanuka. It is. I know it. I know it. I know it in my bones. That's New York arriving. Oh, please, please, please. Let it be Best Girl. Ah, it is. No. Murder. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I don't care. Ah, it's Kanuka. Fuck yeah. The typhoon cometh. Oh, that sets a background and an environment for this. Ooh. Oh, that flow. Mm. Cool. Oh my. Water! Give me a cut. No, give me a cut. Kind of like the episode with the monster. Oh my god, the water. Okay, I'm not gonna cut. Whatever. Oh my god, the water. I got 8,000 laborers going berserk for a while. Jesus. But at least the trust in laborers won't be lost forever. He would cause damage either way. What choice do we have? Hmm. Cool. I wonder what that was. Maybe we'll never know. Jesus, that flowing clothing is awesome. Water? Whoa. Whoa. All the down labors. All dormant. Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to wake up. Fair enough. Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh, they are like little Tachiomis. He's just happy to have something to shoot. Oh, there are a lot of them. Well, this is our kind of climax sequence beginning, so I think we're just gonna let this run. I'm not gonna stop it. Oh man, the flashes again. What do you think we're doing? Yeah. Yeah, these little things are probably not the main threat. Oh boy. Down to the wire, let's go. Huh? Hobo's still there, but not there. What? Is he code? Thinking gits, thinking OEDO. Is it a human or is it code? This track is nice. Of course. He trusts you. You're just much better than the alternative. Alright, let's go. Ah, good callback. Huh? That's a little much. Alright, I'm sure we can pull it off. Looks like we're just staring at hex. Ooh, what are they? Oh. Yep. Reinstalling won't do it. Which is a lot. Which is a lot. Yeah, you'd have the evidence to bring in more support. Hmm. Uh-oh. Alright, Noah alone in a facility that may be turning against her. And glitching out. That is so spooky. Whoa. What if it tries to drop a block with her on it? All right, we're on a clock of sorts. Uh-oh. Let's go, Noah. Wow, in a facility being dismantled from inside piece by piece. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna start waking up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dude, this track is getting to me. It's getting under my skin. That's an army. Is the computer gonna start pushing you out now? Movement. Movement everywhere. The computer. I don't think so, bud. Oh. Of course he did. Oh, I'm expecting a real cool weapon then. Last time she went and found a weapon, it was pretty worth it. Oh boy. Oh, the setup, the payoff. She's in the zero? Yeah, I don't... Okay, fair. Take the risk. I mean, it's Kanuka, so it's gonna pay off. It would be very interesting if she, without control, ended up 1v1ing Noah, though. But no. Hello, friends. And cutting between them. Okay. Go, 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 go! Clong. Does she have to reload it manually? Yeah, wow. Tank show. Tank show. Tank show. Up above, rain is falling. What waits for us? All right. Rooftop. Rain. Wind. No labor with her this time. Just a girl with a gun. What will she find? Birds. Thousands of birds. With glowing red, horrifying eyes. His raven. 666. Did we just hit the wind speeds? 40 meters. Yep. So the Raven with the ID plate, was that triggering something? Okay, they finally figured that out. Is it up at the top? So where Noah is. Okay. Whew. All right, let's get to Noah. This was all you ever wanted, bud. It really was. The chance to let loose. Oh, Kanuka? Totally. Totally. Who else? The hero is here. Yo, what up? Ugh! Giving him the Batman. Jesus. Yeah, I gotta get me one of those. Hey. It's almost like a little wink. And Ota just falls in love. Or was it blinking like that, meaning that it was just switching teams? Uncertain. Oh. Sweating. Do we get to see the whole thing crumble? Did she lose Alphonse because of it? No. Whoa. I almost get like an immigrant song vibe from this. One of the notes is the same. Whoa, what a set piece. The tower rises and then falls. They're okay. They're okay. It's the Type 0, and it's fucking evil. We do have to 1v1 it. Kaneka's not in control. Hi, homies. Yeah. Dude, 1v1 on the heli platform. Okay, it's only got one arm, so that's good. But that means letting it destroy Alphonse, right? Oh, that's Sunrise. Wow. Oh, she's passed out. Okay. Yeah, you're not in control. Get the hell out of here, but she won't abandon Alphonse. He's gonna surgically strike. Go, Noah, go! It's Alphonse, though. Kotowaru. I'm taking you with me. Dangling? Huh. Whoa! Getting up to it. Yeah, it has to hold on. It can't move. Get to it, destroy the system. Oh, that was close. Beep. Boom. Oh, trying to knock her off with that. The lights fade? Yeah, okay. Will it fall into the ocean now? And Alphonse with it? Oh. Dude. Heroes for sure. Oh yeah, we get the triumphant music. And we didn't even lose Alphonse. Good, thank God. I was scared of that. Wow. The foundations, I suppose. Credits? I like this song though. I'm just gonna let it go. Let it run, let it play. This is super groovy. I like this a lot. All right, VLC tells me I have 3 minutes left. I'm just gonna let it run. I didn't end up using the stopwatch thing very much at all. Did end up stopping a lot. Whew. Got a minute and 40 left. It's just subtitles. Duplicate, yeah, okay, for the English dub stuff. Okay, we're done. Okay, so hour and a half long film. We spent about 20 minutes beforehand just going over stuff before, and I have 2 hours and 40 minutes recorded. Which means that we've got almost an hour of content that's just like me stopping in between things and talking about them. Wowzers. Okay, so I'll mention it here, but the first thing that's going to be done is there will be a cut here, and then I'll edit together all the portions where I stopped and looked at particular segments or conjectured or whatever, and smush them together into a segment here. Hello. Okay. I didn't expect to be stopping so quickly, but was that cut the first cut of the hand going through the bird's feathers? What was the frame rate on that? The bird's like expression is perfect. How it closes its eyes a little and opens its beak a little. Like, oh yeah. Oh god. Oh no. What have we done? What am I in for now? That's the first scene. The first scene that I see is one of the most gorgeous painted backgrounds that I have ever seen in my life. Look at that. Like mountains made of clouds, peaks, and oh, and this full broad cityscape, and we're still using that like HDR-ish black, that deep black, to offset this like crane structure that he's standing on from both the sky and the blackness of the cityscape in front of him. And I assume he's looking out across the bay, right? This is the water, and that's the skyline, which means this is probably the Babylon project, and that's probably the starting point. Whoa. Okay. Let's go again. Excuse me while I have an aneurysm. Uh, 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 you can't do this. Okay, this background animation. Every frame. 24 FPS background animation. $24. Oh my god, the budget! Dude, the lighting! My jaw hurts. And now we're 1-1. Whoa. Whoa. Where's the section where the trees fall around it? This is the opening credits. What the fuck? And then the tension that's built as they come face to face here, and the soldiers are just like waiting. Look at the detail in all these backgrounds and the like lines on the metallic stuff. The lens, and the markings on the zoom lens to rotate it. Here? What? The standoff. Whoa! Look at that! And 3 layers going past each other. Okay, the scan goes down, and the way that their faces are in shadow and they become almost painterly as it goes by. More detail, just holding, knowing that if they get detected, they might be shot down. Wow! And then it finds this thing, the light, like, traces it. Boom. And then little bits of... Oh, dude, we're gonna have so much cool mecha gore. I know it. I feel it. With that... And then there's this sequence with the flashes. It just keeps going. Dude. Dude, it is moving. It is moving each limb in between flashes. It's all traced out to where they understand where it's gonna be during the times where it's not seen. And there are multiple types of flashes as explosions go off on different sides of it, and they impact the tree in front and the trees in the back and the robot itself differently. What the fuck? And then it just keeps going as they just unload. And then this scene, there's all this background animation with the trees actually falling and breaking as it's tangled in these wires. Brought to the ground, toppled, tumbled. All in strobe. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. And it just keeps going. Subtly rocking with the bullet shots, even? Not so subtly. Really. Just getting torn up with actual bullet holes being added frame by frame. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I need to work on not using curses as a crutch for expressing things and like trying to actually verbalize instead of dropping to expletives because they're easier. What the fuck? Okay, let us continue. Stop. Stop. Okay, first off, the landscape that they're fighting in is amazing. The destruction of the environment is incredible. The destruction of the actual labor itself and all the mecha gore is awesome. The way that the labors move is so good. And then there's the water. Dude, we can see the guy in the cockpit, like, holding on for dear life and being thrown around by the motion. Bonkers. Okay, then we nail it with the baton. Celebrate too soon, and then it starts to wiggity wag. All the lights flashing, moving at 24 FPS. Grrr. Okay, and then it crashes into the water. And then water effects like nothing I've ever seen. What? Have you ever seen waves drawn like that? In animation? I have never. I've seen in stills, perhaps. The pitter-patter of like darkness and frothy foam, and then the true foam up at the tops that sprays out. The way that the sections of shading in it give it like a texture and the flow. Like you can see that there's flow up into a wave here, that this flows this way and then that way. There's shape and three-dimensionality to each chunk or section of flowing water. This little spike that's spiking out is like, you see what it is. And it just continues and it flows. Like the individual bits and pieces of shadow within it are kept coherent and they move and shift. Like look at this section in here, this like spirally, almost like colored glass being pulled together or something. Like a marble being made. Flowing and crashing over things and becoming more frothy as it does, splitting around this boat and becoming more rapid in its pace as it goes, and all of it descending as the momentum comes out of it. That is maybe the most insane water stuff I've seen. What the fuck? How even? How though? Is it lighter paint on top of dark paint? Or did they scrape away a layer? What the fuck? Because they're so perfectly interspersed and there are parts where they sort of blend together, it's almost like it was scraped away. Wow. Okay. Back to it. That'll do. This little camera movement that follows him gets more extreme and then less extreme as though it's easing in to the position. Fuck. No.
Oh yes. 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 Chihayafuru from Tokyo City Police. The special vehicle. Section number
The
2.
special bagel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy. Yes.
Advice. Look at that reflection. Little details, baby.
アスマもね。
Oh my. Fuck you, show. You're just showing off. Now you're just showing off. God damn it. What? Oh, look, a nice little detail. They remembered to include the reflection in the window as she's looking in. How nice.
いつ必要がかかるかわかんないんだから。アスマも
So she closes the window and it's 100% perfect. Fuck you.
アスマもね。
Ow. I love it. Reminds me deeply of the first Cyber City 0808 or OEDO 808 and Lane. Wow. Wow. Okay, so the line. Yeah. This is from Bible, right? This is from the book where Tower of Babel is struck down. Go to, let us go down, and there confound. Genesis 11:7. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other in the New International Version. Yep. Yeah, if they have begun to do this as one people speaking the same language, then nothing they devise will be beyond them. So the Lord scattered them from there over the face of all the earth, and they stopped building the city. Okay, so religious significance stuff for anti-Babylon project stuff. Where humanity is going too far, technology is going too far, creating land like this is not okay. So it makes sense as a point of vulnerability. The operating system that runs the majority of labors and sees quick adoption because it produces like 30% increased results is a huge weak point, right? It's going to be universally accepted and then it can be universally compromised. Jesus. Interesting. So, how do you not notice that's a bug? Well, I guess maybe the password thing is a trap. That's my thought here. Is that because anytime you see a password prompt in somebody's custom code, you have to wonder whether it's a trap, or at least if it's mistake blocked, right? Like if you enter the wrong password, you're fucked. And it'll shut down, or in this case, release whatever virus it has and infect whatever system it's in, which in this case is the entire Shinohara Industries warehouse, like machine plant, which I'm sure uses computers for a lot of its automation. So that could be very bad. Okay, my guess, it has to do with that eco-terrorist organization. Somehow the host creator got convinced that their way was correct and created a version of host that would activate like this and cause problems. Or at least, you don't actually need to have a bunch of labors go berserk and have like a war, right? You don't need to do that. You don't need to have all the... Because that was my first thought was, okay, every labor who's working currently on the facility goes berserk and starts destroying it instead. Destroying things, destroying civilian places, property damage, whatever. But you don't need to do that. All you need to do is have enough incidents where people don't trust Haas, and then they delay the project, go back to like have to roll it back, have to like, but more than that people stop trusting labors, right? That people stop trusting labors, yeah, because trust in your machine, the thing that they said before, that machines will never do what you don't want them to unless you program them wrong, right? As long as you give them good instructions, they'll do what you expect. That's something that the universe, this world, holds on to deeply. And so if you shake that, bad things happen. It reminds me quite a bit of Isaac Asimov's Caliban, which is a fantastic set of books. There are 3? It's the Inferno series, I think. It's all set on a planet called Inferno. Inferno is a planet. Asimov's stories almost all include the 3 laws of robotics and stuff like that. But in Inferno and the Caliban and onward, there's an entire planet that is so dedicated to their use of robots. It's crazy. It's insane how much they use robots, and they're super invested in them and rely entirely on the following of the 3 laws. You know, don't hurt humans, follow human orders, and protect yourself and stuff. But then they come up with a new type of robot brain, which doesn't have those laws ingrained in it, and it's an actual brain that can actually learn, and it shakes up everything, and everybody becomes very, very terrified. But the interesting thing is that Caliban, the first of them, right, taken from the Shakespeare story on the island, I forget what it's called. Caliban learns and grows and learns from people and learns from other robots, and essentially writes his own version of the same 3 laws and comes to the same conclusions by himself. It's a case study on like how AI might actually function and why we might not necessarily need to fear it as much as we do. But it's cool. It just reminds me of that, where the bigger threat is actually the panic that sets in when people stop trusting something that's integral to their society. Same kind of thing kind of happens in iRobot, again Asimov based. A little bit, yeah, and then the film, which is Loose. Neat, very neat. Okay, let's continue on. These segments are so cool. This musical motif that's just the kind of percussive little melody. And then the slowly moving, interesting shots of environments as Matsui and his companion go places and investigate, not hearing anything, unbroken until it's broken, not hearing anything until he steps on that thing in the junk pile, something that snaps him out of it. Slow and obsessed with details and environments and landscapes and contrast of light and shadow, foreground and background, positive and negative space, and then also these more cluttered, claustrophobic environments. This alleyway, this busy street, these locations, these places as they talk to different people. The sky hemmed in by the alley, the building shifting as our camera moves, creating space, details, things that catch the attention as you walk around, views from elsewhere. They seem out of place in this environment. Light and shadow, creating depth in the frame, deeply, deeply. And again, and again, frames within frames. Intrusive a bit. Frames within frames. And then this. Wow. And then this reflection. There seems to be a kind of obsession with reflections in this movie so far. It's pretty awesome. A divided frame. This one really stands out because of the perfect silhouette. And that. Chaotic and looming and bigger than us. Then this big rotating shot. Our third shot with, or another shot with 4 layers, like this one. The far back, the tree line, the one they're standing on, the one in front of it. All silent, only just the little percussive melody until a step. Wow. Wow, okay. Let's continue. I just want to say I love these sections. I can't wait to see more. He leaves the can. Okay.
過去2ヶ月間の暴走事故
That's a significant color shift. We can stop there. I want to talk about this because I'm intrigued. That thing that he comes up with, maybe he wants to show us something? Makes me think. Because I had just stopped. I just stopped to talk about those sequences, right? And how odd they seemed and interesting. Okay, here's a different take on them. What is the focus of these sequences? It's the environments, right? All of the different places that this character was, that this character chose to put apartments. What features do all of these locations have? Well, they're all inside of that big skyscraper. Okay. I'm not sure what facility that is. I'm not sure if he said, but it's really big and notable. I wonder if it's important, if it's like a center for the Babylon Project or something similar. But symbolically, it's the Tower of Babel, right? The big skyscraper, humanity reaching too high toward the heavens. Symbolically, it's that. He chooses to lay low by staying in slummy areas of town. And that's the thing that they all share. And indeed, it's kind of the thing that we focus on in all of our sequences, isn't it? The kind of shittiness of it. Broken down walls, broken down roofs, poor signs, unwashed fronts, the cracks in the walls, the sort of messy locations, the tangles of wires, the broken shingles, shattered pieces of roof, laundry hanging, places where people are and are living, places that are active, that have power, but are nowhere near ideal or good, right? Places that are alleyways filled with junk and decrepit houses, falling apart, rotting, chunks of them repaired with corrugated steel, where the wood has rotted away, rusted, probably dangerous walkways and bars and things, kids playing in the little alleys, run down locations after one after another, little tiny businesses. Washes, runoffs, reservoirs filled with guck and trash, reflecting giant skyscrapers that loom above this whole area. Tunnels and pathways leading into the light, into understanding. A more and more decrepit area, an entire complex, all the windows shattered. Strange objects left places. Scribbles on the walls, perhaps. Dust and dirt and grime, layer by layer, floor by floor. And he steps and steps upon a birdcage, crushing it. The cage that traps humanity? Now, the idea that this gives me is, again, irony. That it's ridiculous for the big businesses and the leaders to be creating new landmass, to create new high-end developments when there are so many locations within Tokyo and in the surrounding area that are decrepit and awful like this, that aren't being renovated or changed. Instead of making do with what we have, instead of making a contract with the environment, instead of improving on what we have, we create anew because we're so arrogant, so greedy. We build giant skyscrapers in the line of sight of ghettos and call that progress. Huh. But is it? So he wants to tear it all down, and he wants to get the message of why across. That's my initial thought, at least. I think it's a cool initial thought. He wanted to show us something. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was the state of the world. The state of all of these people. They don't seem to pick up on it, though. Part of that comes in the crushing of the birdcage here. Not understanding. Being part of the system. Stepping on it without even noticing it was there. And only noticing once it had been crushed. Once it was too late. It's also interesting that we never hear any of the people that they talk to as they're investigating. Part of that is because we're montaging through it, trying to show that they're covering a lot of ground rather quickly without using too much screen time. But another part of it is it dehumanizes them. It distances us from them. Even the cop that they talk to at that way station. Interesting. There's a distance. I said it when I was first going over those scenes, that they seem like they're almost intruding. They don't quite seem like they fit. Like they're being led by the environments that they're in through darkness into tunnels of light. But they don't quite fit. They're an interruption. They stand out, just like the skyscraper. It's interesting. Okay, let's move on. Stop.
外部から
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. It kind of reminds me of like Tatami getting really ridiculous with conveying character emotions. But hot damn, that is great. Going from this civil discussion to this horrifying fisheye getting right up in your face, and then he immediately is in it too. And then it's not even faces, it's just the brass. It's just the stars, the badges. 3 versus 1, baby. Yeah, I only picked up on that because of Shatterbird. I mentioned it in some recent reactions, but I recently reread Parahuman's Worm by Wildbow, and there's a villain in it, part of a villain group, and her name is Shatterbird, and her control or her power is a particular control over glass. She sings at a super high frequency, and through the power causes all of the glass to resonate, and that resonance carries it further, and then she brings it up to the pitch where it all shatters violently and explosively. Like, not just shatters normally as if you punched a window, but all the molecular structure of the glass shatters. And basically, she and her team are super evil, and they just go from city to city being super evil and causing devastation because they find it fun. And their usual MO is to enter city, scream via Shatterbird, cause thousands of casualties and chaos, and then they enter and start having their fun, which is usually lots of murder. That's their MO. But the thing is, Shatterbird, her danger is the first attack that she does, right? Because all the glass resonates. But then she can't really attack again in the same location because all the glass has shattered. But it's the worst because it destroys all the electronics, all the buildings. Everybody with glasses is essentially dead or blinded or maimed for life if they don't take their glasses off. Anybody who had a phone in their pocket is now has their upper thigh lacerated or their groin lacerated, sometimes their arteries in their thighs lacerated. People die a lot because of Shatterbird. If you have glass windows, you're dead. All kinds of things. Yeah, it's bad. But that's what I thought of. That's super cool. Okay, yeah. Coming to a point. So why hasn't it resonated yet? That's the question. It's not quite the right frequency. Are we waiting for a particular type of wind? Or a particular construction to finish? That will have the right frequency? One that he maybe had insight on? Okay, welcome back. Hopefully that made some kind of sense. I don't know what editing me will do with that, but he'll do something. Now, back to the present. I'm definitely feeling that drag after having spent 2 hours and 40 minutes sitting here talking about this film and watching it and trying to figure it out and just being in an almost constant state of awe at the incredible amount of work that was put into almost every single scene in this film. This movie is bonkers nutty beyond belief. You don't see animated films like this. You don't see effort put in like this. Like, at all. You don't see background detail like this. You don't see little details like the gorgeous action sequences or the insane strobe affected shootout in the forest that opens us. You don't get that. You don't get hyper detailed, multi-layered forest environments and cityscapes and decrepit, degraded, lived in, real feeling environments and worlds. But Oshii knew. Oshii knew that if that was going to be the focus, that he had to show this world in a way that conveyed the same kind of emotions that our characters might have, but also the kinds of emotions that Hoba might have. The same kind of, like, lonesomeness, the same kind of feeling of being in a wasteland, the same detail. You can't have an emotional connection to the world of a show unless it pulls you in. And in a show that's focused on realism, the only way to pull you in is realism. And the only way to do realism is effort. A lot of it. Work, a lot of it. And it's hyper-realism, of course. It's stylized, of course. Sunsets don't really look like that opening sunset that we see. Not really. But they kind of do. It's stylized, it's beyond. But every scene has like a texture to it. That pulls through in the animation, the details, the way that characters interact, the super little things. And it's like the first thing that I noticed when I turned the whole thing on was that this first scene, well, the first thing that I noticed was a gorgeous background. And then I noticed gorgeous use of negative space. And then character in a crow. Birds do this. If they're comfortable with you and you touch their heads, this is what they do. They close their eyes like this and pull back a little bit and then get into it and go and open their beaks a little. Yeah. And then ruffle their feathers as you finish. Whoever drew this was familiar with birds. Whoosh. Sneering at us. So, the inciting incident? Sneering, smiling down upon the city? Babylon. Babel. And he falls. What a cold open. But the detail in everything, the thought in everything. It's planned. What was the production schedule for this like? When did it start? I need to know. Okay. I went looking for when it started development, when it started production. I couldn't find it. If you happen to know, I would love to know. Just release date. Don't know how long it was in production. Actually, you know what? Production. No, I can't find anything. Okay. So much detail, and it's easy to focus on or zone in on the action sequences because they're so impressive. Like the firefight in the woods is our opening action sequence, right? This is kind of our hook. This is what we can be promised by the show. But at the same time, it's setting up narrative threads. It's setting up cool things. But it's showing this really cool labor unit that can like fly and stuff and shoot tons of blasts and stuff. This war, these stone-faced soldiers, this huge operation, and these crazy parallaxy shot things. What the fuck? That's 3 layers, isn't it? Huh. Cool. Interspersed with credits. This, we frame by frame this going through, but Jesus. Yeah, so we put some Sakuga in the first few minutes, because gotta get people involved, you know? This explosion still absolutely boggles my mind. The frame that thing starts to explode, first off, the explosion itself is gorgeous. Second, the illumination on everything is perfect, including the smoke cloud behind it. And the careening, moving giant hunk of metal. Insane. And it like wipes the frame itself as it comes in too close, and then we're cut to the other side of it, watching it move the other direction, and it doesn't feel jarring. It's just a perfect flip as it crosses the lens of the camera. How? Whoop. How? And then even there, in the last frames of this sequence, when it's already happened, there are scattered shots and ricochets off of them, and they illuminate the background behind as well. Are you nuts? Are you fucking mad? But beyond just the action sequences, it's the details. And this was the first one that I picked up on, but by no means the last. Camera lenses have notation in them. They have the manufacturer usually and the specs of the lens, like the f-stops and all that stuff. They also have, if they're manual, they have a rotating cylinder with markings on it so that you can do the focus and the zoom. Now, this isn't exactly a camera lens, it's a scope on a gigantic rocket launcher sniper rifle machine. But of course it would have those things, because it's made to be used like the same kind of thing. There are screws on it. There are bits and pieces. There's a knurled section for grabbing. The lens has the kind of blue reflection that it would have from the side, depending on how, like what it's made of, and what the fuck? The scan, the fire, and then of course, the hectic, and it just doesn't stop. There are so many different, like, combinations of lights going off. It really puts you in it, you know? I've never seen scenes like this. Never. This section right here, this is some of the most insanely beautiful anime that I have ever seen. And it's not the only one in this one film. This is peak craft all the way through on so many levels. And this is what I love. This is what I love. I love it, I love it, I love it. Is when, and this is what I think defines the best leaders in creative industries. Especially team-oriented creative industries. Anime is one of those, right? It's about intersections. Intersections of talent, intersections of effort. Talented background artists, talented animators, talented color designers, talented thinkers thinking about how light would be thrown around, talented storyboarders figuring out how they want to shoot all of this, and a deeply talented leader and director who puts it all together and inspires all the individual pieces to make parts that come together to form this cohesive whole that becomes more than the sum of its parts, that becomes a scene that's real and cool, and then uses that coolness to tell a story with meaning, a story about technology and progress versus conservatism, but also, panic and fear and humanity's relationship with technology and bureaucracy and red tape and the way that sometimes people in the system have to go outside of the system in order to enact justice. And if they hadn't, loss would have been immense, right? And then the scariness that the people in charge, without something to cover their tail, would have just let it happen and then allowed their tail to be covered by, oh, it was just a typhoon, we couldn't have known. These are real things, and they're made interesting and entertaining, and the value of them is made clear to us by our own emotional response to them. We find them interesting because they're important. And by combining the message with the means in that kind of perfect balance, meaning is created and value is created and given to us, the audience. But then, at a certain point, there are diminishing returns to the amount of value produced, right? How many people notice consciously that there are markings on that camera lens or scope or whatever it is? How many people care? How many people notice and are awed by the particulars of the water animation during some of those sequences and care? Not that many. They notice subconsciously, of course, but not that many. So there's a going way above and beyond that's more than just we have the budget so we can. It's a desire for excellence, a drive to create something good. And it's fucking awesome. And it's throughout this work. And it's not just Oshii. I have to imagine that it stems from him, right? That he's a core, like a resonance point for it that resonates it out into the rest of the team that he's working with. Because it's so common in his works. So credit due for that. But like, the thing about the leadership that's on display is that it trickles down. It's evident in every piece, right? And it's not the kind of evident where somebody was standing behind you cracking a whip. It was the kind where you're convinced to go along with it. Where the artists and the key animators and the background artists and the editors and the sound designers, the music people, and everybody was on board. Was like, yeah, we're going to make this the best thing ever. And then they did it. That's freaking cool, dude. The little things, like the guy in the background, he takes a phone call while he's on the phone, looks at him, recognizes that he's on the phone, takes down a note, and shows it to him so that he can interrupt politely. Introduction. Chekhov's gun, the zeros. Noah thinks that one of them looks creepy. That comes to fruition, doesn't it? There's nothing excess, but there are extra things, right? Little things in scenes. And then there's detail. Environmental detail, especially. As far as the eye can see, scaffolding and robot elevators and just showing how common they are. Everywhere. They're everywhere. They're a part of everything. The norm. Again, little things. This frame could be right here. Right? It could be boxed right here. But it's not. Instead, we include Noah. Kinda goofily, cheerily, hop, skip, jumping, bump to the edge to look out. It's freaking cool, I think. Let me change my blinds really quick. Should be slightly less glare on my face now. That's good. Yeah, good. There's also the helicopter guy exposition, which is pretty nice. It works really well, I think. Having this news reporter essentially giving the same spiel that we got at the beginning of each OVA, but in context of a broadcast. It's a way to do it. It's a way to do it. And also, there's something else about it, which is the sort of tongue-in-cheeky way that he continues turning and facing, like breaking the fourth wall, facing the camera directly. Like we're shown that he's actually turning around, but then he faces us, right? As he gives information. He does it again when he turns back to we have an angle from the like back here. Yeah, he turns, and looks straight at us because we don't know who's in the back seat at this point. And then we reveal that it's our self-insert characters. It's Noah and yeah. That's cool. Clever. So all of the whole scenario really is laid out in the first few minutes. Proper detective novel story, right? Who's the culprit? Boom. It's him. He's the first person that we see on screen. He's dead. It's one of those Holmesian mysteries. It's got wrinkles to it. What else is going on? Labors are a thing. Haas is super cool. Labors are being piloted without pilots and they're going berserk. People are aware of it, but they're not sure what to make of it. We're building a gigantic arc. It's awesome. There's a new set of labors, the Zeros. Noah thinks they're creepy. That's pretty much everything. All right, then we get the chief. We get our first steps of bureaucracy and political quagmires. Everybody taking a prudent approach, everybody being cautious. Yeah. Awesome shot. Just a great angle that puts all these characters in a different position within the environment. Very, very K-On! Very Kyoani-y. I want to see when he moves. Huh. Cool. More shots, the same place. Out we go. Oh my god, and then the showing off starts. Again. I said it during, but like, how many things can we make animate in a single scene? How about a bouncing solid body object in the foreground with liquids coming out of it, and then 3 characters running foreground to background through the lens of the camera? That should be easy, right? No problem with that. How about a low-angle shot constantly being obscured by bodies running by, with a major character in the foreground, multiple other characters shouting orders and running around in the background? Also, there are 2 layers to it. How about a big wide-angle shot with mechanical stuff going on? A couple of characters dragging a meticulously drawn piece of cloth off of a labor, while others mill about, running around perfectly. Also, some of them will be running up and down stairs, so they'll be obfuscated and parts of their body will have to be kept track of as they run past parts where the camera can't see them. What? Oh yeah, then we're gonna do a crowd shot of an entire alleyway with a relatively complicated background that subtly shows you the skyscrapers looming in the background beyond the more slum-like areas of town as people are forced to evacuate as quickly as they can. And we get to see all their individual faces as they run and scream in kind of panic. Yeah, that sounds easy. Why not? Also, the camera will be moving the whole time, so no cheating, no just moving characters closer to the frame, guys. Gotta actually redraw them every time. That's easy, right? How about a shot of the same location with just crowds from behind milling everywhere? Nope, we're not going to put them close enough together that you can obfuscate their legs and pretend that they're walking just by moving them or sliding them around. You're going to actually have to draw their legs. Oh, and be sure that you draw the shadows under where their pant legs are, because that's important. It'll look wrong if we don't. What? Wow, that path of destruction is awesome. Also, somebody mentioned this to me before, but screens. Every single screen looks like a real layout, a real readout. They're so legit. That's so awesome. The answer is there too. The answer is in the first 15 minutes. Their systems don't have Haas installed. And we should recognize that because we see the very distinctive copyright 98 Shinohara Heavy Industry Operating System, Shinohara System version 3.1 revision 2, 1999.3.31. We know what it looks like, and we know what the opposite looks like. We know what the Shinohara Haas system looks like. We know that their Ingrams don't have that system on them. Screens again. Jesus. And then mechanical stuff. I mean, if we actually talk about every piece of mechanical stuff that occurs, ridiculous. It's so cool. Like, just this hydraulic thing is so cool. So we essentially do the exact same scene that we did in episode 1 of the OVAs. The reveal of the labor. And it's pretty neat. We just do it with more budget. I do have a problem with this sequence. I wonder what it looks like in the non-Bankai filtered version. I'm wondering if the filtration did something to the edge lines here. The problem is it's far away and detailed, and so I can imagine that this might just be as good as they could get it. But I can also imagine that there's some artifacting going on because of the filtration. It just looks a little rough. Because there are so many like precise lines moving at the same time. It looks a little rough. It gets fuzzy. But then the Ingram actually starts to move. And the animation on them has improved so much. They are weightier. They're more real. They're serious. Yeah, the flicker inside Noah's cockpit is cool. The little interactions that add humor to serious situations. He's crushed my car. Go get him. And he steps on his car as well. Ah! Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So, yeah, insanity. He has nothing to do with it. And that's where we start to figure out that things are very wrong. And Mechagore. Lots of Mechagore. Good stuff, Mechagore. And also, let's save the operator. Good idea. And then it goes again, and then we get our first water animation. I feel like this and most of the water sequences at the end are drawn by the same person, because it is such a unique style of animating frothing waves. I have never seen anything quite like it. It's beautiful. I would love to know who is responsible for it, because it's gorgeous. The way that the water, like, wraps itself around objects, especially the boat in the left corner, the objects on the right, and the little roofs on the left, and sprays out and then reforms itself, is stunning. Excuse me. Absolutely stunning. I don't really understand the whole freezy thing, but okay. Oh, maybe it's leaking like coolant or something, pressurized gas, and that's freezing it. That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As it expands, it takes in the heat in the environment, freezing him cold. Jesus. All right, so yeah, clean it very thoroughly. Good. This is crazy. No idea what's going on. Move. Subtle camera. Again, little things that do not need to be there, but they elevate it. And then we get the first of these sequences. A musical motif. Right? Technically, it's the same as the opening. Right? Yeah, the chimes. Ethereal and creepy and kind of spooky and kind of detective-y. I feel like I remember some similar music being used in Gits. This makes me really want to go back and rewatch Ghost in the Shell a lot. Yeah, we might need to do an Oshii an Oshii thing because I'm not as familiar with his work as I need to be, and I'm realizing how much of a loss that is as I watch Patlabor. Okay, moving along, Frozen, blah 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 blah. The whole sequence. These environments, yo. These locations. Passing under the bridge, the towers. Immediately, the answers are always in the frame. They're right there in plain sight. The birds. The orifices and apertures that might whistle. And the contrast. Sections. Broken sections. One place where he lived once. Bird cages. Even a shot like this, 90% of directors would shoot this with this in the center. 90%. Instead, we gain negative space, we gain balance, we gain, like, anti-symmetry, guiding lines, focus, darkness. Okay, reflections, though. They do so much to produce verisimilitude, the feeling that this could actually be real, even though it's anime and it's so obviously not real. It's like they went through every scene and went, okay, is there a window? Where is the camera? In our layout that we have of the room, because we have it, because we thought it through, is there anything visible in the reflection in the window? Or the glasses, or the screen, or whatever? Yes, the light. Okay, then when Noah opens the door, we have to make sure that the reflection moves in the proper way that it would if the light was in that particular position, and the door was particularly there, and it moved at that angle, at that speed. Yeah, okay, no problem. We'll just perfectly animate ray physics for funsies. Nuts. I'm gonna check my disk space. Hold on, because this is going long. It's going really long. Okay, we've got space. Oh yeah. Also, that reflection. Is there anything in frame? Yeah, Noah's entire head. Also, the entire room. No problem. Should be easy. The garden's cool though. A little bit down to earth. Pretty neat. It also is a fucking plot point, because the tomato lets him know that she was eavesdropping. Yeah, fatal flaw with Haas. And then he pushes him into actually researching it, which is so cool. Okay. This interaction is also amazing. Seeing the manufacturing plant is also amazing. Again, details, but all of it in motion. They had to figure this out. Come up with what stage of development they wanted it to be in. Like, close, but not quite there. Not quite putting the finishing, like, outer structures on it. And he comes in and is just, like, so friendly and so open and serious and sincere. Ah, you're doing really well. Yeah, work's good. Yeah. getting him talking until he starts talking about the real deal, the stuff. Also, everything's animated perfectly because, of course, it is. We talk about progress and technology moving forward, losing track of it, being unable to deal with the new developments like software. Can't keep up with the youngers. Yeah. And then we hit this cut. The people who make them, the people who maintain them, were integral. As long as people don't mess up, machines won't mess with you. That's not why I'm here. Let's talk seriously. What's up with Haas? And he immediately deflects. We've built everything on it. It's super popular. It's gonna be great. Yeah, you're talking about all the pros side of things. I know about the pros side of things. What's on the cons column that you're not telling me? No, look at the pros. Yeah, all right, bud. Not what I asked. And the seriousness of the scene is, of course, dramatically increased by holding this one shot, right? Stony-faced expression, eyes hidden behind glasses, just holding it. Doesn't flinch, doesn't look at him, doesn't do anything, just asks the question and waits. I personally guarantee it. Sure. Okay. So Shinohara investigates on his own. And he finds something. In fact, part of this is that he's giving him the chance to get in there, you know? Gets the master disc, and things go wrong. We see the opening screen for the first time. We also get the first text, right? Go for the author password, Ehoba, and we get that. Yeah. And we start printing out babble, 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 and it's very scary. Very scary. And we get really weird with it. The 360 rotating shot. Cool. The fisheye shot with all of the babbles over his face. Ultra cool. What does this remind me of? Specifically. There's a specific something that this reminds me of. This is really interesting because I can think of examples of scenes where we fisheye a character and the environment around them, and specifically examples where they get painted red or colored red by the glow. I can think of examples, but they all occur or were released after this. Ava has a number for Shinji's sequences with red glow because the screens inside his Ava go haywire. Steins Gate has a lot of them. Madoka Magica has a few. Lane has some, not with the red or the text, but some similar things. All of them after. It's interesting. Very interesting. It's super effective, I think. It's really cool. Very spooky. And it just spreads. And again, like, how many things can we animate in every frame? As many as we can. All of them. Insane. Okay, the next sequence of the percussion-y thing. We talked about this one a lot because it was so cool. Skyscrapers looming, contrast, locations, degraded, decrepit, intruders, paths, run down, skyscrapers always in the background. Multi-layered structure, make us think of the Ark, birdcage, shatter, an empty wasteland with skyscrapers and wealth behind. The junk and refuse of humanity. And we just stand in it. The answer framed behind us. All was in sight. All was there. Why? Doesn't click. It doesn't click. And in the same way as he stepped on the cage, He leaves the can behind. Direct center. Make sure you notice it. Make sure you remember. There's something to it. Waste. Junk. The map. Ah, oh, so good. Ah, so good. All right, we hit a brick wall. We won't get past it until tea. Have tomatoes. Yum yums. Also tea. Oh yeah, the whole reflection scene. Let's just do an entire sequence in a wide with reflections while the characters move and talk and animate and emote. And we'll just reflect the opposite side of them. No problem. Just draw them entirely twice. Also, there will be a third angle just for funsies. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Oh, and she just starts falling apart off screen. Great job by the voice actress. Noah. I will say, and I said it before, I don't like Noah's character design as much. It's not quite as cute. There are elements to her face that just don't quite click for me. Something about the ratio of like eyes to mouth and stuff. Also, like this section in particular, because of the way that they're doing the shading, they give her laugh lines as she's talking, right? Because they exist even on a young person, right? Like I don't have deep laugh lines or anything, but they appear. But actually putting there makes her look old as fuck. When she goes from 14 to 60 with just that addition of a little shadow right there. Suddenly 60-year-old Noah. I don't even know what to think about that. It's just a little bit off. I don't love it. Dude, the way they figure out bits and pieces of the mystery, where there's enough there that you can put it together before they explain it. When they get excited about something and you get excited about it too, and then it's explained, you're like, yeah, whoa, we're on the same page. Brilliant. Hearing something we can't hear. Brilliant. All right, and talks to him. He's got it figured out. Yeah, buddy. So, give me a sec. I can find the hiragana really quickly. I just want to make sure that this says what I think it does. Okay, so it says Reiba, right? I think the assumption that we're supposed to make is that these are his childhood drawings and dreams of being a labor pilot because his family is Shinohara, right? And part of their connection. And so it's like weighing your family connection against the industry and the business. It's pretty touching. He broke all these rules. And you've been ratted upon by your own commander because he wants you out of the system so that you can actually keep working on your investigation because it's more important. That way you won't be tied up by all the red tape and bureaucracy that is tying up everybody else. And if he hadn't done this, it would have been fucked up. All right, fisheye again for the chewing out and the argument is wonderful. The fact that he's in it and like just Chief is immediately a part of it, and that it then degrades to just their uniforms talking against each other. 3 stars versus 1, back and forth, and that's all it is. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Super good. And that brings us to the halfway point where we start figuring out what's going on. Our guy, our boy, with the tan. Also with reflections in his eyes, which is cool. Another one of these sequences. Super neat. Find some stuff. Find some things. Everybody chilling. Fishing, etc. Superheroes. Very interesting to say, huh? Also, this whole conversation is really cool. I mean, this whole conversation is like, this is the moment, right? In multiple ways. It explains to us an initial motivation for Hoda, right? Where did he come from? A derelict district that was supposed to be renovated, but instead was taken over by some crazy acts and political bullshit, and it sat in limbo and was never redeveloped, untouched, while other projects went forward. Progress continues, but what occurred before is left behind. A constant cycle. And people feel like that too, right? That's the conversation that we get in the manufacturing plant. We engineers being left behind by technology's progress moving forward, unable to keep up. People discarded because their usefulness has run out. And what does it even mean? Can we even fathom the march of progress? I guess the past is worthless in this city. Whoa. Yeah, this place wasn't even a place. This was just water. Everything will change, everything will shift. Maybe that's what Hoba wanted us to see. Maybe that's what Oshii wants us to see. Where are we going? Who are we? I'm intrigued by this. I don't know about that. I can't find any reference to that. Only the what? How do I pronounce that?
pronouncenames.com.
Paul Gauguin. Paul Gauguin.
That guy. That painter guy. He apparently made a painting called Where Are We Going? But I can't find any reference to like a barbarian leader writing that down somewhere or anything like that. So maybe a little bit of fiction because it's convenient. Cool. Gosh, that background. May just hold for a moment staring at each other. He's our man. But we can't do anything from here. And they chat. Are they really cops? Nah, superheroes, baby. You just hear the electric guitar squeal after he says it. Nah, they're not cops. They're superheroes. 80s logo. Real talk, real talk. And also the explanations around Babel and Babylon. Getting himself interested in the deep details and the backing history. This is tongue in cheek. This is a bit of a joke, I think, if I'm interpreting it correctly. It's a huge trope in detective and like cop fiction that the cop, as he chases the guy, he becomes closer to the monster that he's trying to stop. It's the core of shows like Monster. It's in the title, you know? It's super common. I wouldn't even say it's cliche. I think it's a good story element. I think it's legit, right? Like, it's a real danger that people face, becoming something other than yourself in order to achieve particular goals and then losing sight of the self that wanted those things in the first place. Or becoming a vigilante and dishing out injustice to serve justice. It contradicts. In this case, he's getting too deep into like the religious stuff and the ooey dooey. I don't even know what ooey dooey means, but I like it. I like it better than the spooky wookie. The ooey dooey. As he comes to like understand him, right? He never considered us worthy opponents. It's pretty like grim, and the way we shade his face gets that too. Did you know you look almost giddy whenever you talk about Hoba? And this is the scene, right? Like the second in command or the confidant turns to main character, gruff guy, and tells him like, you're becoming the bad guy. And he's like, whoa. Or like, no, I'll do what I have to. Instead, he just laughs it off, right? It's just like, haha. Looks at himself in the mirror, is like, wait, really? Oh, shit. Pretty fun. Pretty funny. All right. Waking up, doing Sims, and tea. Gotta love it that tea is a core plot point in this show that reveals the villain's plot. by a glass case in their room happening to resonate with the frequency of the teapot. Just enough that you can figure it out before they do. And feel validated by doing so. Just enough. Oh my god, glass everywhere. Resonance. What if we simulate it? Oh, it's bad. It's very bad. Some kind of multi-level. Oh boy, it's the Ark. And it's bad. And there's a typhoon coming. Also, what was on TV? All right, some news shit. Some idol girl. When did Perfect Blue come out? Nope, never mind. Weird cartoons and stuff. All right, typhoon inbound. So cheery as she announces the death of everything. And then, of course, we have one more conversation with the top brass. With him just like, yes, let's get this over with. You're not going to give me what I want. Even assuming that your conspiracy theories are true. So, turn off all the labors. It won't work. Fucking hell. And he wasn't even informed of the incident of the labor piloting itself. Guy making decisions doesn't even have most of the information that he needs? Alright, so they talk in subtext about the act of God thing. Man, loading up and getting ready is awesome. Introducing all the elements that we're going to have to face is cool. Getting prepped, getting ready, getting going. It's pretty neat. And of course, Kanuka. I called her from New York. Yes. All right, and then we enter the day of the thing, offset from the rest of the episodes, or the rest of the movie by the pouring rain and darkness. It is truly the dark night of the soul. Now, let's just, perfectly animate a bunch of cloaks blowing and gale force winds during torrential downpour, because that'll be easy. Hey, let's just animate pontooned transport vehicles entering the water. Should we do it from far away so that we can, kind of cheat it a little bit? Just do broad swaths of water? Hell no, we want 3 different shots and close-ups. I want to see the intricacies of the flow of whitewater as it goes between sections of these different pontoons. Yeah, that'll be easy. Let's do that. Are you nuts? God damn. Three. Off the top of my head, after going through it a second time, most of the episode at least, I can think of 3 flaws in this movie. 3 flaws. You know what they are? I've mentioned 1. I've actually mentioned 2. 1 is Noah's face. The shading style doesn't work for her youthful complexion. Just doesn't work. But that's subjective. Number 2, more objectively, the one scene of the labor lifting up out of the back of the truck looks kind of shit. That could be because of filtering. But it looks all artifacty and crusty and gross. It's not good looking. Number 3, the little layer of rain that is hitting and bouncing off of his umbrella. There should be 2 different frames at least of different speckle patterns so that you can shift between them and make it seem like rain is actually bouncing off in different ways. But they don't do that. It just holds on the one. And it's noticeable because all the rain everywhere else is moving throughout the scene. But that holds static. I noticed it on the first viewing, and it irked me. It irked me more when he moves the umbrella. The umbrella moves because of wind, right? I think that's great, right? A sudden gust simultaneously blows all of their clothing, or Shinobu's hair, and her name is Shinobu, right? I think so. And the umbrella shifts, right? But there are like different segments of it as it shifts. So they could have done it throughout, but they didn't. It just holds static and it looks wonk. hour and 40-minute long movie. 3 things that I can confidently point at and say, I think this is a mistake. And one of them has the caveat that it could be just because of the filtration process. And one of them has the caveat that it's subjective. You don't get much closer to perfect than that. Like, total, maybe 15 seconds of animation that isn't perfect. Total. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. When every shadow, every piece of machinery, every raindrop, every piece of clothing, every bit of light and highlight and flash and muzzle flash and perspective shot and camera motion and character animation and characters in background doing random things and water is perfect. Yeah, I think I can discount 15 seconds. And the thing just looms. Hazy. So cool. We enter the assault on the facility. And it's a new chapter. And it's fucking cool. It's super awesome. Through the gauntlet. All these, like a hall. I mean, they mentioned they're like idols, right? But like a hall filled with statues looking down upon you. Super cool. Or worse, like a hall filled with giant suits of armor that look like they're going to come to life, you know? Avoid combat as much as possible. Roger, roger. Lock and load. So badass. So badass. Quote unquote, as much as possible. Okay, also, music. Glorious. Mecha gore. Everywhere. I mean, this is just the first bit of it. It's just a scatter shot. And then there are thousands of them. Everywhere. It's like the scene in Lord of the Rings where all the gobos are coming, or the orcs and stuff are all coming in Moria. Oh. They are very Tachiomi. $24. Wow. Hey, is it enough to animate one of them as it spirals past the camera and finds location? No, they act in formation. There have to be 3. Do them at different distances from the camera, so you have to draw them differently. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it in a background animated loop of really complicated moving pipes and stuff to give it direction. Okay. Also, they all have to explode. It needs to look cool. Guess what? It looks cool. Oh my god. And then the craziest thing about so many of the action shots in this movie is that they don't stop. I feel like we get used to, like, how much Sakuga we expect for a show. We're like, okay, we're gonna have this much of a fight scene. And then it'll be bookended by, like, talking and stuff. And this just, like, hits that boundary and is like, yeah, let's multiply that by 6. Like the opening sequence with the autopiloted bot getting the shit shot out of it just kept going. It just didn't stop. It just continued. It was like, yeah, you get the point. Here's more. This chase down the hallway just does the same. Chance for every character to shine, firing guns, this really cool moving shot around Kanuka. Super cool. And then we're so far away from it by the next time. This is nuts. Where do we wipe? We kind of don't. We're just changing our angle dramatically. Wait. What? Okay, yeah, we see those pipes next to them. The sense of scale is very strange. But it gives bombast for it to be bouncing out into frame like that. It's a little weird, but it's really cool. Oh my gosh, those explosions. Those muzzle flashes. Goosh. And then the shockwave that comes around them and the smoke? What? Is it cut out? I think it is. It's hard to tell. You see that clean line of the circle? It's inside a portion of the corona. Also, do you see the casing? I didn't see the casing. It's there. It flies out. Both, oh my god. No. Both being ejected sideways by the compressed gas, and it's being pulled away from us by our own velocity. It traces an arc. But back to what I was actually talking about. I think that I think it's a layer of transparent cell that's been cut out with some stuff on it that's then placed over it. Because that line is so clean. Interesting. I don't know. It's very weird. Very unique effect. Gosh. Oh yeah, this slide. Oh, it's so cool. Goosh. Hits the elevator button. The whole thing just like wobbles. Hits the elevator button with the stock of the rifle, and they just barely scoot in, Indiana Jones-ish, ducking to get under. Awesome. All right, moving ahead. Oh yeah, Mechagore. We open on an infinite army, and just explode them. Pew, 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 pew. Oh. 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 And then the way that the buggy that they're on sort of lists to the side here, and they all clunk. Mew. Oh man, and then this whole shot. Yeah. It's clever to only animate half of it, because that's what the headlights would get. It's also clever. Dude, look at the smears on the pipes as they go by. Because they look like they're passing faster as they approach us, and boom. How? I mean, mapping it out to a grid is how. But it doesn't make it any less insane. And then through that to the wides. Arrival. The way it just sort of unsummarily smashes the door in. Gsh. Awesome. Alright, we get going, but the computers here are fucked. Emergency power. And the ID key is up there, because the bird is up there. Because, okay, now I get it. They were just finding that there was a staff member because the ID key that lets them locate a staff member was up there. It wasn't that there was a human there. I was thinking they had sensors that were like, there is a 160-pound object of worm up here, right? No. Someone might be there, so we send Noah. Noah, go to the top of the arc. And we're also going to proceed with everything else. But we found the data, we found the truth, we found the information, and everything is suspect. Everything is fucked. Environments. Alone. Dark. Dark. Rigid. Structured. And then things dropping away. This is the coolest set piece. A collapsing ocean facility that threatens a huge region, and we have to bring it down but it's got tech within it that's trying to stop us from bringing it down. Oh my gosh. And the music is so perfect for it the whole way through. Scale of collapse. Oh my god. Water. Whoosh. Pow. Awesome. And then they start coming to life, and it is terrifying. Vowie Scowie. No luck. We were compromised. So there's our 0. It's pretty cool. We cut between the scenes pretty awesomely. Bunch of stuff happens. The fact that she has to get out and manually reload the thing makes a lot of sense, but I never would have thought of it. And then up to the roof we go. Because rooftop battles are a thing. When there's a location that you need to assault, you go to the roof. You find the tippy-toppy tower. You enter it alone. No protection, no armor. Braving it. And find something really horrifying. Lots of birds with glowing red eyes. Which is for effect, right? They're just burbs, right? They're just burbs. They're not super hacked birds or anything. Just one of them happens to have the key fob. And they just happen to find their way here. 666, because why not? Hey, so for literally no reason, we're going to have a really big shot with moving camera of waves crashing against the side of the facility. You want to paint every frame of it really quick? It'll be easy. No people. Berserk labors. Battle goes. Gotta lock down the whole thing. Some cool fights. Some insane mecha gore. He's getting exactly what he wanted, which is a good fight. Ridiculous. And of course he is saved by Kanuka. Because she's a fucking badass. More mecha gore just continues. Just Batmaning him across the knee. How it tears before it snaps. Ugh. Scatter of stuff. The sort of blade hand comes back. Pierces, explodes. Oh. Crazy. Then I think she hits another one, and we use that for our transition point. Yeah, it bursts through. Where do we transition? No, we go glow, 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 glow. Glibbity glow, and it's bad. Yeah. But she jettisons the floors. Time to go save Alphonse. And then, of course, the 1v1 with the 0. Man, this structure collapsing is such a cool set piece. All of these shots that we've seen before falling apart. The shots of this location that we maneuvered through, all crumbling. With a slowness to it that belies its scale, its size. And in doing so, as it crumbles, the tower within the center rises from its center before toppling. Symbolic. Humanity brought down by its own weight. Very scary stuff. But the tower rises, and it almost has like a ziggurat-y type of formation to it as well. And it falls. And falls apart as the strain becomes too much. It buckles at 1,000 places at the same time. And she falls. Alphonse falls. 24 for this entire shot. This is the set piece shot, you know? 24 all the way, baby. Make it smooth as butter. As the entire landscape around her collapses. Wow. Grabs hold, it's not enough. Everything falls. Down, down, down. Just wow. And then catches on that string. A tower, now a bit of a boat. An arc. This shot reminds me of something. Like Lane and Ava and Gitz all mashed together. And Gunbuster. All mashed together. Hey, it wouldn't be a finale without a 1v1. And in a way, what are we doing here? We're fighting against uncontrolled progress, right? Misunderstood progress? The zeros are the new units. Noah is dedicated to Alphonse. She loves it. She finds the zeros kind of creepy looking. The zero gets overtaken, proving her fear is correct. She sticks with the one she knows. Fights like crazy. Almost sacrifices it in order to prevent destruction. It's pretty cool. The way it moves so quickly and mechanically. It's so clear that there isn't a pilot in it. It's kind of crazy, right? But there's a humanity to the way that the labors move when there are people in them. There's a humanity to the way that Alphonse struggles as he falls down here, reaching out and grasping at things. Like the way he's trying to cling on, falls back away. You know? And there's a humanity to the little, like, jungle gym move that he does. That she has him do to swing across. Right? Human. Personal. Compared to the mech. An inhuman lunge. Whoosh. Extending too far. Inhumanly quick going for the gun. Click, clack, click. Boom. Too fast. Lurching forward. Uncaring. Oh, wait, no. Wait, what? Oh, shit. I got super confused there. My bad. That's not good. Wait, what? Is this another mistake? I guess not. It's mapped out properly. The two sides of the scene should be very different. Should be more different. Because on this side, this is Kanuka lunging at Noah, right? And then right here, we cut to the other side. Right there. Left is Noah, right is Kanuka. We just flipped, breaking the 180-degree rule, kind of. Wait, did we? Yeah, we did. We actually did. That's bad. Yeah. No, that's bad. This is a mistake. And then beyond that, the background isn't distinct enough, right? There's this broad dark shape on the right side and not as much on the left. Broad dark shape on the right side, not as much on the left. It looks like we don't cut from one angle to another. It looks like we're just a little bit further along and it's still Kanuka's mech grabbing the gun, but it's not. It's Noah. That's actually futzy. There's a problem with this. There are two problems. One is we break the 180-degree rule, right? Filming a conversation, you film with one character on this side, the other character on this side. You don't break the dividing line between them, but we do. Because in the next scene, if... Objects. Wait, how do I do this? My hand is a character. In the case of... Oh my god, this is so hard because of the angle that you're at, and it's different from mine. So on the far left of you is Kanuka's mech, lunging forward, right? My hand is a character facing this way, and you're looking over my shoulder, over that character's shoulder at me. I'm facing that character. We're facing each other, right? When you cut to the other side, where I'm facing, you're over my shoulder, and the character is there. You want to keep the sides right, right? So in frame, if character A is on the left side of the screen, and character B is on the right side of the screen, when you switch, you shouldn't flip that. Character A, as they're talking, should remain on the left side of the screen, facing us, and character B should be on the right. That way, positionally, they stay in the same place, and you don't get confused. That's the line between them. If you jump over the line, you break the 180-degree rule, and it's confusing and jarring, and that's what this is. And it's not for an effect, right? It's not like, oh, we're supposed to be confused about which mech is drawing a gun right here. Nope. It's a mistake. That's 4. Bingo. Bongo. Wait, who's who? Rongo. But that's okay. Again, very tiny. Dude, the sun coming up behind them is so dope. I don't even care that it rises too fast. At all. Yeah, can't stop it, won't stop it. Almost lose Alphonse. Hot damn, the shadows on everything are awesome. Eventually pull him down with us. Oof. Lots of mecha gore and glory. And holding on, Noah the badass climbs her way up, dangling above certain death, to get there and stop it. As the thing tries to fight against her, tries to knock her off with its earpiece and everything. Wow. Wow. Glitch, glitch, over. No file. And we're done. The world is saved. And we rejoice. And we get kind of everybody together in the frame. Yeah, everybody's here. And the project is totally destroyed. Whoa. Dude. This was the coolest movie. This was the most awesome film. It's so good. And people say Patlabor movie 2 is miles ahead. I'm gonna die. I'm in danger. I'm gonna have a heart attack. What can I say, you know? This is perfection. This is so close to perfect in every way. I am amazed by this film. More people need to see this film. It is so beautiful. And funny, and fun, and enjoyable, and actiony, and cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. What more can I say? This is amazing. Okay, we'll wrap there. I got 4 hours of footage. I think we're good. I've been Teeaboo. This has been the first Patlabor movie. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I hope you didn't die from enjoying it as much as I have. And I hope to catch you next week when we will absolutely watch Patlabor movie 2 because, See you there. Peace.